Call the game, sweetheart. Welcome back to the Hardy Boys to Hidden Theft. Last time we explored maybe 75% of Spencer Mansion, maybe a little more. And then we ran out of time, so we didn't get to explore the rest. So we're gonna explore the rest now. Let's go on this way. And go this way. And, okay, we jumped a bit more than I wanted to, but... yeah.
I got a sample of mud.
Frank got a sample of mud, and we're gonna need more stuff than we think. I don't think we have anything useful we can make casts of that from. When we cast those prints for, like, evidence purposes or whatever. And let's see here.
The lid is sealed shut. I can't open it.
And we don't have a screwdriver, do we? Dang it. You need a screwdriver to get in that. And we don't have it yet, so... no point coming this way, so let's just leave. And the music stops. The music starts up again, so let's head this way. So I get my guide in the correct position. Ooh.
This part of the yard is a little messy. There's even a tire lying in the grass.
Very dramatic music. Piano-ness. Alrighty. We can go for a bit, and then we can take a...
I'll just take this. Could come in handy.
And then go inside. And there's two people we can talk to. We can talk to... whatever his
Hello
name
again,
was.
Mr. Spencer. It's Joe and Frank Hardy.
Boys, thanks for helping me out with that rather uncooperative police officer back there. Please, do come in.
Thanks.
Already in.
Can I get you anything?
No, we're okay.
What can I do for you?
Well, let's see here.
I don't mean to disagree with you, Mr. Spencer, but I really don't think Officer Riley was being uncooperative. Really, I think Mr. Spencer, well, the other Mr. Spencer, was putting him between a rock and a hard place.
Of course you're right. I guess it just hurts to think of my own brother being so quick to think I would betray him, especially after all I've done for him.
Why do you suppose that is?
Why do you suppose that is?
Well, if I'm being honest with myself, I suppose I would say it's because he's so quick to turn on people himself, he thinks everyone else is equally capricious.
What do you mean, all you've done?
What do you mean, all you've done for him?
I'd rather not get into it. Suffice to say, we both had a rough childhood. I probably got off a little lighter than he did, but I threw myself under the train for him more than once. So the fact that now he seems to have forgotten or even forsaken what happened is upsetting.
We found the cross at the nurse's station. That was the nurse's station, by the way, we visited in the last episode.
I found a cross at the old nurse's station. Do you know anything about that?
Can't say that I do. Maybe it's the gravesite of one of the help's pets.
Maybe.
Okay. That was weird. I remember that from my last playthrough. Then again, this game.
Have you ever visited the old nurse's station?
In the past, yes. I had to clean it up a bit. It was a much worse mess than it is now at one point, believe it or not. I boarded up the windows and doors to stop vagrants from using it as a flophouse.
You can still get in there, you know. We think the thief may have spent some time there before committing the crime.
You don't say. I'll have to give it a visit, seal it back up.
I'd wait a bit. I think the police are going to need full access for a while.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
Alrighty, is that Samuel's car?
Is that Samuel's car near the front door?
Yes, that's his baby. He's had it since it came out, or nearly anyway. It was his first car, and he's never let go of it.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that old.
Joe!
Hey, I call him like I see him.
Your brother's right. It's a beautiful car. But in my opinion, it's more trouble than it's worth. Sam loves it, though.
We don't want to talk about... well, I mean, we can talk about Lily, but I don't want to.
Thanks for your help.
Anytime.
And now let's talk to this lady over here. Hello.
Hello, Mrs. Spencer. I'm Joe Hardy, and this is my brother Frank.
Hello, boys. It's a beautiful day out today, don't you think?
I guess so. Do you think we could ask you a few questions about the theft?
By all means.
Joe is talking very softly. Well, let's learn.
What is your opinion of Samuel Spencer?
I suppose it would be impossible for me to convincingly lie about it. He's hardly my favorite person in the world. He is neither honest nor compassionate. I find him extremely disagreeable.
What about how it upsets you so much?
What about him upsets you so much?
Look, nobody's perfect. Some people are completely truthful in all they do, and this can make them seem harsh. Other people lie whenever it makes their life easier, and to offset this, they affect a sort of beguiling charm. Alone, either of these traits, while far from desirable, at least make the person tolerable to know. Samuel somehow manages to avoid being either honest or charming.
You think a person can be either charming or honest, but not both?
Oh, heavens no. There are many people like you describe. I simply believe there are many more who fail at either one or the other.
Has he lied before?
Has he lied to you before?
Very little comes out of the man's mouth that isn't a lie, or at least a distortion of the truth. His lies are often lies of omission. For instance, he told Thomas before we moved here that he required no rent or compensation for our lodging. Since we have moved here, he has essentially kept my husband as an indentured servant. When Thomas expresses a wish to pursue a career or prospects outside of Samuel's domain, Samuel makes him feel guilty until he agrees to drop his foolish whims for something more practical. Of course, practical in Samuel's view simply means that which benefits him most. Not a pleasant man at all.
Can you think of anyone? Well, I could think of 1,000 people who would want to steal from Samuel.
Can you think of anyone who might steal from Samuel Spencer?
Well, I might. I wouldn't have the slightest compunction about stealing from that man.
You realize what you're saying, Mrs. Spencer?
I realize full well. I also know that I am innocent, so I'm not afraid of drawing attention to myself, especially if it will call the dogs off of poor Thomas.
So you didn't steal from him?
Well, of course not, my boy. One can have a motive, but possess neither the strength nor the will to follow through with it. And anyway, when you think about it, isn't $200 million really a motive of its own?
I'll say. I'll say.
Yeah, too late. Your first I'll say is the one that counts. Anyway.
Do you know anything about a small cross and what looks like a grave near the nurse's station?
No. Did it look like the work of a child? We did lose a cat near there last year. Perhaps Lily would know more about it.
We're gonna have to find Lily.
Can you tell me about how you came to Bayport?
Well, you are thorough, aren't you? I was actually born in Oswald, about 100 miles southwest of here. My family moved away when I was young, but shortly after my 17th birthday we moved back. I lived in Oswald until I met Thomas.
Let's learn about the husband, and I don't care about the daughter, but...
What can you tell me about your husband?
Thomas is a dear. I had long given up on marriage. I just thought I was one of those people to whom it would never happen. It isn't easy for a single mother, you know. I had resigned myself to the life of a spinster, but then I met Thomas. How two people of such differing character as Thomas and Samuel could be born of the same woman is a mystery to me. Thomas has been the father that Lily never really had. Lily was already in her teens when we married, and you would think that would spell trouble for him, or her, or all of us, but he is such a tender and loving father to her that she couldn't help but be grateful he entered our lives. Thomas would never steal, never! I can tell you that with all the certainty in the world.
Alrighty, and that's all.
Thank you, Mrs. Spencer.
You're welcome, boys.
Perfect. So that's it for the lady. Mrs. Spencer. This is a pitiful house, and there's nothing to explore in it. So I guess it is a two-star house. I guess that room they just animated poorly because they could. Anyway, how does this work again? The map. We can use the jump map to go to different parts of Spencer Mansion. Or Bayport, or Manhattan, which we'll get to at another point. So, let's see here. We're gonna head first to the Bayport High School, and boy, oh boy, just you wait till we get there. We're there. I actually was expecting it to be a lot longer wait. Oh my gosh. It's so weird playing this game and having short load times. It's not weird playing this game, though, and hearing the loud piano music that they have, the disco music-ish. It's kind of disco-y, I guess. Well, anyway, let's head around the school. I haven't been in high school ever. I was homeschooled, so...
Hey, Phil. What you doing?
Sweating. The darned air conditioner is on the fritz for the 4th time this year, no less. I can't stand working in this ragtag computer lab. Next year, it's sea sail or bust.
Honestly, Phil, it isn't even hot. Aren't you overreacting?
Look, I can deal with a little heat, but our school has such a meager comp-sci budget that our computers can't. Look at the Nexus. It's an antique. It has aluminum heat sinks. What's the matter, Bayport? Can't spend the extra 3 cents per cubic centimeter on copper for your children?
Yes.
Whoa, what are you on about?
The Nexus won't even turn on when it's over 75 degrees Fahrenheit in the room. It's a safety mechanism like a fuse, right? And it's quite clearly over 75 degrees in here right now. It must be at least 76.
I turned the air down to 74 in here. I don't know if it's working because it's actually quite hot.
What's the Nexus?
Do you go to this school?
I don't spend much time in the lab.
You must not spend any time in the lab. The Nexus is a dedicated terminal connected online to a global database.
Now, I might be a little slow, but that sounds kind of like this thing called the internet. You ever hear of it?
Well, the internet is a great source of information, but it's also a great source of misinformation. The Nexus is monitored, so all the information it gives is guaranteed to be accurate. They usually give them to large universities and libraries. We got one secondhand, so to speak.
Hey, that sounds useful. Can you show us how to use it?
You haven't been listening to a word I've said, have you? It won't turn on.
But if the temperature drops to 75 degrees, it will, right?
I feel like a broken record here. Yes!
Thank you. Now, this whole Nexus monitored internet stuff sounds a lot like the new regulations that they're trying to get for the internet now. I'm not sure. I don't pay that much attention to the news, but they're like doing all this new copyright stuff to where like it's illegal to do the stuff using copyrighted material, like remixing videos, posting memes, online music videos, that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it's just Nexus stuff where the internet is monitored. It reminds me a lot of that issue. Right now it's July 2018, so you're seeing this several months later. I'm not sure if this issue would still be accurate. In fact, it might actually be more accurate. If memory serves, there's a vote coming in November to decide how these regulations are going to be put into effect. Enough of my rant on with the game.
What is CSAIL?
The computer lab at MIT, where I'll hopefully be around this time next year. You can bet they'll have copper heat sinks. Or liquid-cooled. Liquid-cooled.
I know what none of that means.
Catch you later, Phil.
10-4.
10-4, goodbye, Phil.
I don't think that's a good idea at the moment.
Yeah, we can't use the computers because of... I guess Bayport's a very cheap school. But what we can do is we can head this way to the utility room and watch a guy jiggle a wrench. And let's see what else we can see here. In here...
It appears it's nearly out of antifreeze.
Sweet, it needs antifreeze. And we can come over here.
This could be
and
useful.
seal this garbage lid. And I guess talk to this guy.
Hello there.
Oh, hi there, kids. Working a weekend just like me, I see. I'm Mark, the handyman.
Hi, Mark. I'm Joe. Say, pretty hot in here, isn't it?
You noticed? The darn air unit ran out of coolant. And of course, we don't have any here.
Can't you just pour some water in there?
Can't use water. The heat'll evaporate it. It isn't a closed system. Gotta use antifreeze.
Maybe we could help you get some.
Be nice if something went right today, huh?
Oh, aren't you right? Okay, well, let's see here. We're gonna walk right in front of him and steal his screwdriver.
I don't think anyone will
and
miss this. Could be
useful. Because we steal school equipment. Now, let's point something out right now. We have, oh my gosh, that's actually more than I expected, a ton of stuff. And since it's a third-person game, you can't see where Frank and Joe keep it, so it's a bit unrealistic if you ask me. Anyway, now getting to the cool part of the song. Not the cool part of the song. Ooh, stealing school equipment, yep. We're stealing school equipment, stealing school equipment. You kids are giving me a headache. You want extra credit? Make me an aspirin and leave it on my desk by Monday. I can't do those cool felt like aggravating myself. Anyway.
Hey, I think that's Iola over there.
It is. She's right here, not way over there, wherever you're looking. Let's talk to her. Why don't you walk over there?
Hey, Iola.
Oh, hi, Joe.
How's it going?
Could be better.
What's wrong?
Mr. Sachs, my AP chemistry teacher.
Ah, yes. Chemistry. Difficult stuff.
Not really. I have an A, but I'm shooting for an A+. He gave us all an extra credit assignment last week, and it has to be turned in by Monday. Nobody has even tried to do it. I think he just made it insanely difficult to get us off his back.
What is it?
He wouldn't even explain it. He just wrote, "Make me an aspirin and leave it on my desk by Monday," on the board, and left. I know being a teacher is hard work, but I really don't think that was very professional of him. We don't have the tools at the lab to synthesize aspirin. And even if we did, it's incredibly dangerous.
Wow.
It's not fair.
Hey, I've got plenty of aspirin at home. You forget who my brother is?
That's nice of you, Frank, but he said make me an aspirin. I think it's the process he's testing us on, not the end result.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, don't be. I'm not mad at you two. I'm mad at him. He has no right to put me through this kind of anguish.
Is there anything we can do to help?
Teacher.
I don't think so. Thanks, though.
Okay, well, if you need us, just holler.
Thanks, guys. I just want to be by myself for a bit.
Okay, well, let's think about this. Make me an aspirin and leave it on my desk by Monday. Tell me, what is the first thing you think you gotta do? If you answered break into a chemistry lab and actually make the aspirin, you're wrong! Here's what we gotta do. Let's head back to the teacher's place. And look at this right here. Ooh, I'm actually going to need a picture reference. What you gotta do is you need to make the chemical-like combination for aspirin. How do you know that? Well, here's a helpful little diagram right here. Aspirin, which is salicylic acid. Yeah, yada yada yada. Alright, so now, you remember that probably. Excuse me. So, let me just pull up the picture real quickly and we can build, there it is. Build ourselves an aspirin. Cool. So we only need the reds and the whites. We don't need any of the others. I don't even know why they have them as an option. I guess just make it more realistic. No, it's not more realistic. It's just in my way. And then there. And then there. And then there. Now with the whites, really just slap them whites right into where the last slots are, and you're done!
Aha! Pretty clever if I do say so myself.
I guess we really just did the assignment for her, so now let's go talk to Iola and tell her we did your extra credit junk for you. There we go.
Hey again, Iola.
Hey, guys.
Hello!
Can I ask you a few things?
I suppose.
First of all...
Hey, Iola. Would you come look at something?
Frank, I'm really not in the mood for silliness.
This isn't silliness. I think we may have solved your aspirin problem.
No offense, but how is that possible? You two haven't cracked a chem book all year.
Just come look, please.
He isn't joking, Iola, I promise.
Okay, this better be worth my time.
It will be.
Yes! 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 I was so blind, of course! You two! Oh, you two! That is fantastic! Thank you so much!
You're welcome. That's so dumb. But it's over, so let's continue with the game. Not that it's gonna get any more realistic.
Hi, Ms. Wizard.
Hi, boys. What's going on?
We have evidence to analyze.
Can you analyze some evidence we found?
Sure. Let's have it.
Well, we only have one thing so far, and actually I need to grab a second piece of evidence from our inventory and do stuff with it.
We found this blue rag at the scene of the crime. We think the crook may have used it. Do you think you can test it for traces of blood?
It does look like there's blood on this thing, but I don't know how to test for blood. We never covered it. I'm sure we have the equipment to do it. I'm afraid I'll need some help on this one.
Okay, we'll see if we can find out anything about it.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your help, Iola.
It's nothing. Come back if you need anything else.
We will.
Bye.
Unfortunately, we'll have to come back and maybe right away. Because now we have a hair sample. Hello again.
Hi, Ms. Wizard.
Hi, boys. What's going on?
Can you analyze some evidence we found?
Sure. Let's have it.
Let's analyze that hair.
Is there anything you can determine from this hair sample?
Let me take a look. I couldn't determine much. We don't have the equipment here to do an all-out hair test, but, one thing was obvious.
What's that?
The hair is black.
Wow.
Oh. Gee, thanks.
I'm kidding. Gotcha.
Okay, good.
Actually, what was obvious was that the hair had been cut within the last few days. See, the end was cleanly and freshly
Oh,
sheared.
that's smart.
That's interesting. Perhaps a visit to the local barber is in order. Thanks, Iola.
Anytime.
Oh, and I needed to do that transition apparently. Well, we have a hair evidence, and let's see, we now have the Bayport Barbershop open, which we're gonna ignore for now because it's time to commit vandalism. Let's head to Spencer Mansion. We need coolant to get the AC to work, so we can use the computer Nexus doohickey. So what you want to do is you want to take the shard of glass and stab this thing right here, whatever it is.
Fantastic.
Fantastic, indeed. Let me see if we can do any more vandalism. No, we can't do more vandalism. That's a shame. We'll be back to vandalize your car more in a minute. Anyway, now coolant is dripping. So let's collect some in this trash can. That's how you collect coolant, right?
This could be useful.
Well, that's how we're doing it here. Alrighty, now we... Whoops. Now we have all that. Let's head all the way back to Bayport High. It's a good thing the loading screens are super duper fast now. I don't know how that works. Oh, this is not the way to the maintenance room. Here we go. Let's pour the coolant in. I don't know if the trash can lid will let me.
It appears it's nearly out of
Let's
antifreeze.
find out if this will work.
I can't. It'll just spill all over the floor. I have to find a way to pour it precisely.
Oh, we have a beaker. Let's do it this way then.
That's thinking outside the box.
Not really, but here you go. Apparently that's the sound of coolant going down the hole. Let's see if that fixed the AC. After the dude.
Woo! You fixed the AC!
Yep,
I'll be. I guess this school does teach something useful, huh?
it might.
Well, thank you kindly. At least now we won't all die of exposure.
No problem.
I'm gonna go throw the circuit breaker. Be back in a bit.
Bye.
Alright, bye. He's gonna go flip it. And now the AC is on. Sweet. And that means the Nexus should be up and running. Hello, Phil.
Guys, the AC's fixed.
Yeah, we know. We fixed it.
The Nexus thanks you. And more importantly, my armpits thank you.
Can you show us how to use the Nexus?
There's nothing to it, really. It works like any other search engine. You just type in whatever you want to find out about and hit search. If an entry exists, you're there.
Great. Sounds simple.
Simple enough for a Hardy to use.
Hey.
Okay, let me know if you have any problems with it.
Thanks, Phil.
No problem.
Alrighty, so we can use the Nexus now. Let's type in... Hang on a minute. There we go. Blood test. Search. Blood test. Criminal investigators are quickly phasing out use of the catalyst test at crimes. Other simple tests are better at detecting very dilute concentrations of blood C, sometimes so dilute the human eye can no longer see the stain. These tests, while more reliable, require more expensive chemicals. Because of this, if there's a substantial, visible amount of blood to be tested, the catalyst method listed above remains appropriate. It takes 1 part water and 1 part of phenolphthalein solution. Whatever. Okay, cool. That's how you do the testing for the blood. And that's all the time we have for this episode. So next time, on the Hardy Boys Hidden Theft, what are we? I think we're gonna begin collecting more evidence and possibly head to the barbershop. We're definitely heading to the police station because we need to get this blood tested. Or maybe I think we have to go see Iola. One or the other. See you guys then.